Kobe Bryant said in 2015, almost 8 years ago, that he believed that European players were more skillful. Let me get into this article. It says, Kobe Bryant believes European basketball players are more skillful than American basketball players and says it's a growing trend that can be blamed on the greed of coaching at the AAU level. I think that European players are just way more skillful, Bryant said Friday night after the Los Angeles Lakers 109-106 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. They're just taught the game the right way at an early age. They're more skillful. It's something we really have to fix. We really have to address that. We have to teach our kids to play the right way. Bryant was quick to point a finger at the decline of skilled players in the United States. He then spoke about AAU. Bryant said, horrible, terrible AAU. It's stupid, and it doesn't teach our kids how to play the game the right way. The article then continues on. Bryant was born in Philadelphia, but when he was 6, his father, former NBA player Joe Bryant, moved the family to Italy to continue his playing career. Kobe spent his childhood in Europe until Joe retired in 1991 and moved the family back to the United States. When you have limitations and you understand your limitations and you stay within yourself, you can be great, Kobe Bryant said. You know what you can do and what you can't do. In America, it's a big problem for us because we're not teaching players how to play all-around basketball. That's why you have Pau and Marc Gasol, and that's the reason why 90% of the Spurs roster is European players, because they have more skill. Bryant smiled when asked what type of player he would have become if his family never moved to Italy and hadn't learned how to play the game in Europe. Horrible. He says, I probably wouldn't be able to dribble with my left hand and shoot with my left hand and have good footwork, Bryant said. I was kind of fortunate because I was growing up in Italy, the Red Auerbachs, the Tex Winners, and all the great coaches were doing clinics and camps in Europe. They were teaching all the club coaches, and the club coaches were following their advice and their fundamentals like the Bible. And they were teaching all of us kids that type of stuff. Me, Manu, all of these guys that grew up around that same time were a product of that. It's a big difference. Bryant had a simple solution to the problem. Teach players the game at an early age and stop treating them like cash cows for everyone to profit off of, he said. That's how you do it. You have to teach them the game, give them instruction. But Bryant would hold his annual summer basketball camp and was quick to point out that any solution involving changing the current AAU basketball won't happen overnight. That's a deep well, because then you start cutting into people's pockets. Bryant said people get really upset when you start cutting into their pockets because all they do is try to profit off these poor kids. There's no quick answer. This made me think of a point while discussing Kobe. All I hear, oh my God, this is why you guys got to be careful who gives you your information. All I hear is that this era is the most skilled basketball players we've ever seen in our lives. This is the best basketball we've seen since sliced bread. These players are more skilled than ever before. Kobe Bryant had more skill in his one hand than the entire NBA. There's nobody I can point to in this NBA. Nobody that I could point to that was half as skilled as Kobe. Half as skilled as Kobe. Half. I'll take it a step further. Nobody talking basketball on TV or independently, their podcast, knows more about basketball than Kobe Bryant. Nobody. That goes for Stephen A. Smith. That goes for JJ Redick. That goes for whoever you want to bring. None of these dudes can carry that dude's water when it comes to basketball. And if you listen to Kobe speak, you will know that was one very sharp guy that didn't even go to college. That did not even go to college. If anybody listens to Kobe Bryant speak, you will know that that's a very intelligent person. You will know this. You can surmise that quickly. I just find it interesting that we get bombarded with this message of, oh, this is the most skilled era. This is the most skilled. Well, if you listen to what Kobe's saying, he's saying that this era has no skill whatsoever, that they're limited fundamentally. that they're limited fundamentally. And some people watching this video will say, how do you say Kobe Bryant's more skilled? Let me tell you what Kobe Bryant's more skilled at. Number one, name a perimeter defender right now playing in the NBA that can also score 30 points a game or lead the league in scoring, that could play defense and make an all-first defensive team. Name the guy. You have Giannis, but Giannis has a different skill set. Kobe could shoot, he could dribble, he could pass. His footwork, don't even discuss. And he was arguably a top 3 post player in the league. He was that damn good. There's no, any shot you can think of, that dude can make it. I've seen him making turnaround left-handed 3. I've seen it all from this dude. Anybody that knows basketball will tell you that for free. So if he's saying that, we got to now ask the question, what's going on with the messaging? What's going on with the messaging around this current NBA? Is it an agenda? Is it an agenda to propagate this message of, oh, these are the greatest players since sliced bread? But in reality, they're not.